Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to edit a video with two different cameras. So I use two different cameras. So one you can see right here, right above what we're doing, and that gives this view. So that way you can get a close-up on exactly what we're doing, while right here you can see us explaining everything. So this is just a quick video tutorial on how to edit them both together. So I've actually started editing this, so this is going to be really, really fast. So when it starts, there's just a lot of stuff that goes on right here, as you can kind of see. That's just like before we're ready, we're just kind of talking, we're getting things together. All that stuff needs to be cut out. And I've already hit the spot right here where we start. So to hit the spot where we start, you're just going to have to watch it. I'll probably say like, okay, here we go. And then we're starting. So this is what it sounds like.
Okay, so this is step one, basically just preparing for what we're about to do, and she's the expert, so I'm going to have her kind of run through.
Okay, and notice how like the sound is really muffled? It's because the camera's way over here, and you can barely hear us, whereas right here...
Okay, so this is step one, basically just preparing for what we're about to do, and she's the...
So same voice, same talking. It's just so much clearer because the camera is literally right here, right above us, or right next to us. So in order to get the voices to match, the thing we're going to do is we're going to cut it off. So I just did like a right click, split clip, right at the exact same spots. So both of these cameras were started at different times because we can't be in the same place at once. So there's a bit of a lag. Like this one has a bit more... okay, so first off, this one, before I forget, this one accidentally recorded vertical, which is no big deal. You just go in here, flip, now it's horizontal. But yeah, so you're just going to find the very starter point on the exact same part of each video. And then you're going to delete all the extra. So I'm going to delete that and delete that. So you're just starting out with two videos that start at the exact same time. And what you're going to do here, it might be different on your editor. But on mine, you can just move this down here so that the voice will start right when, or right at the same spot. So now this becomes the voice one. And I am going to just mute this because you can barely hear us anyway. And yeah. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to make sure it's like exact. So we need to make sure that our voices match what we're saying.
Okay, so this is step one, basically just preparing for what we're about to do, and she's the expert, so...
Okay, so it sounds pretty good. So again, this one is muted, and this one is just taking over. So, this one, I'm just going to go to auto, see what that does. Not much. Okay. And notice, like, there's some, like, parts that go way low, so I'm just, or way high above here. That yellow is like where it's supposed to be, a little bit maybe too high, so I'm just going to put it down just a bit so that way it's not crazy.
Okay, so this is step one, basically just preparing for what we're about to do, and she's the expert.
Okay, great. Alright, so now I'm just going to make them evened up right here, and we're good to go. So now I'm going to bring this one down yet again, and then do the same thing, rotate it to where it's right where it should be, and then find the starting point. So we're just kind of getting ready. I'm just, again, just writing the starter point on it.
So we'll just start targeting the camera.
Okay. Boom. Get rid of the excess. Bam. Now, so now there are two bolts starting at the same spot. Now, we're just going to go in and we're going to watch it, and until it gets to a point where people actually need to see what we're doing, we're just going to keep it on here. But until we get to that point, so like we're just talking, and I'm going to do this really quickly. If you did not make your video, since you did not make it, just kind of go through and watch the entire thing. I know that it's such a slow process, but that's just what it takes. So just kind of go through and make sure and go to a point like I know where we need to look at something, so like probably pouring it in there. So
the 12-ounce.
Okay, so I'm just gonna now split,
like exact.
Actually, we're gonna do it a little bit before that. Undo. I'm just gonna maybe start right there.
Okay, so I'm gonna go right to the 12-ounce.
I'm just gonna do
A piece.
So,
yes. Is it?
Yeah.
Good. I love numerology, so let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna go right.
So I'm just gonna split this off. Split. And I'm gonna go back and find the spot where we split it.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more.
So
24 ounces, so 12 a piece. So, yes. Is it?
Yeah.
Good. I love numerology, so let's go. Okay, so I'm going to go right. Two.
Okay, so I'm going to split it off where after she says the word two. Because I think that's what we did at last time. And I'm just going to move this one in right here. That's it. So we're just going to go back and make sure it looks
First
good.
one we need is the resin, which is that one. Good. I love numerology, so let's go. Okay, so I'm going to go right.
Okay, so this is step one, basically just preparing for what we're about to do, and she's the expert, so I'm going to have her kind of just...
Wait a second. Whoa. Actually, we delete that, sorry, and then we move this right in there, sorry. Okay, so we go right. We go.
Okay, so I'm going to go right. The 12-ounce.
We actually cut off a little bit more than we should have, so we're just going to take that back a bit.
Okay, so I'm going to go right to the Okay, so I'm going to go right to
Perfect.
the 12-ounce.
Like exact.
Okay, so, and then we're just going to leave that right there. So it's just a quick, I'm just going to watch it again to make
Okay,
sure.
so I'm going to go right to the 12-ounce.
Like exact.
Okay, so, and then we're going to come in and we're going to move this back here. So we're talking above here. So I'm going to kind of go, I kind of look in here too. I'm just going to listen to it.
Like exact.
Okay, so that was the spot where we needed to. So I'm going to cut off that, whoops, I don't know what that is. So I'm going to cut off this split clip. I'm just going to delete that because we don't need double. So I'm going to go back and look at it, make sure nothing's overlapped, make sure nothing's just like repeated or anything.
Like exact. Okay.
So if it went...
So see how that just like flows? Like you're just deleting certain parts.
Okay, so I'm going to go right to the 12-ounce.
Like exact.
See? That's just like so smooth.
Okay.
So if it went a little bit over, then you go a little bit over with the hardener.
Do you put this in right now?
Yes. So
Okay.
we're gonna put it in right now.
How long will it take once it's combined?
Yes.
How long? Okay, so 20, a little over 24, right?
Just a little bit over 24.
Okay, so then I'm just going to make a mental note that it stopped at just a little bit over 24. There we go. Go back out. And then I'm going to move this right in here. And then I'm going to play.
Like exact.
Exact.
Okay.
So if it went a little bit over, then you go a little bit over with the hardener.
Do you put this in right now?
Yes. So
Okay.
we're gonna put it in right now.
How long will it take once it's combined?
Yes.
How long? Okay, so 20, a little over 24, right?
Just a little bit over 24.
Okay, so that's where I stopped it. Delete that since we don't want anything. And now I'm going to go back and make sure it makes sense.
A little bit over 24.
Slowly.
I know.
Okay, so that's really all we need of that. And I can kind of see that this is just like blank space. It's like 5 seconds of blankness that we really don't need. Okay, and you can see us talking up there, so we don't need that. So now it's time to switch again. Move that back over here. And then we're going to take off this amount that we need.
I know.
Okay. Now we're actually going to take off to where I stop pouring. I'm just looking at it to make sure that I stopped pouring up there because you don't really need the whole 5 seconds of silence when you're pouring. Okay, I'm just going to go back and make sure it looks good.
Good.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. So then, you either take a big stick or something that you can scrape the sides with, which, hey, this is actually really good. It'll get right in there. We're going to stir for 3 minutes, a full 3 minutes, and we want to make sure it is all combined together. Scraping the sides and bottom. Yes.
Okay.
Scraping the sides and bottom. Yes.
Just like this?
Circle.
Circle.
Yep.
Backwards, forward?
It's better to do it all in one. Yep.
This?
Yeah. Then taking a moment every few spins or every 20 seconds or so, and scrape going around on the sides and getting all of it on the sides and the bottom.
So this is just kind of dead space again. And
Because
then
then you'll see it starting to come together.
And then when I edit this, I'll just put 3 minutes later.
Yes. That's what I'm trying to get.
Oh. Okay, and so basically what I said, I'm going to edit it and say 3 minutes later. So this is all part that needs to be edited out. Since I'm just kind of looking to make sure that it's at the right spot in the camera. Looking at the camera, all that stuff needs to be edited out. So, I'm just going to edit this, split, okay.
Then taking a moment every few spins or every 20 seconds or so, and scrape going around on the sides and getting all of it on the sides and the bottom.
Okay, and so that needs to be, so her saying that needs to be in there. So we're just going to take all that out. There we go. Now going back and moving this over. And then we're going to watch it and make sure it's at the point where we want it to be. So, right in at about there. I'm just going to now watch it and make sure it makes sense.
I'm going to get right here.
Okay.
So I think that this is, to scrape this, scrape the sides, I'm going to have to, well, I think I will scrape a little bit. See, the best part about this too is I can really get those sides. Because if you leave any of that, then it will leave uncured resin.
Okay.
and it will like have like sticky parts in your cured resin.
Oh.
So then I'm gonna get right here.
Okay.
So I think that this is, I think to scrape this, yeah, scrape the sides, I'm gonna have to.
Okay, let's make that make a little bit more sense. Okay.
20 seconds or so, and scrape going around on the sides and getting all of it on the sides.
I'm actually gonna just cut that off right there. There we go.
Scrape going around on the sides and getting all of it on the sides. I'm gonna get right here.
Okay.
So I think that this is, I think to scrape this, yeah, scrape the sides, I'm gonna have to. Well, I think I'll scrape a little bit. See, the best part about this too is I can really get those sides. Because if you leave any of that, then it will leave uncured resin,
Okay.
and it will like have like sticky parts in your cured resin.
Oh.
So then I'm really going. Okay, and then you can almost see. You see the swirls in there now?
Yeah.
See those swirls?
Oh, yeah.
That's the resin that was stuck to the sides and the bottom.
Oh, okay. Crazy.
Okay, and then this is the part where I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna put in here, stir for 3 minutes. So we're gonna eventually edit this out. This is just stirring. So like we're gonna edit this part out, edit, and then put in here, stir for 3 minutes. Actually, we'll just put it over here instead. Oh. And then do this however you can on your thing. Let's see. Let's see. Stir. Stir for 3 minutes. Perfect. Okay. Now we're just gonna go back and watch. Make sure this all makes sense.
Swirls in there now?
Yeah.
See those swirls?
Oh, yeah.
That's the resin that was stuck to the sides and the bottom.
Oh, okay. Crazy.
I'll take some muscles out of it.
It does.
After a while, yeah, like the really big sticks, the really big popsicle sticks, it's like you're going.
Okay, that can just be edited
Muscles
out.
out of it.
It does.
After a while, yeah, like the really big.
Edit it out. Okay, over here. Let's see, and now we'll find a good spot to up here.
I'm gonna get right here.
Okay.
So I think that this is.
So we've already included that in the close-up. So after stir for 3 minutes, we can kind of go on. We can usually. So I'm just going to take it right here to where something else is happening. Take this out. And I'm just going to go back and make sure that this makes sense still.
Okay.
See how that's just so smooth? Like all that stuff didn't need to be there. It was just me stirring.
Get this. There we go. This bottom really scraped that bottom really well. Like this one, just because the angle of this.
Okay, so this is kind of part that doesn't really need to be in there too.
There we go. A bunch of bubbles in it.
Yes, and so they.
A bunch of bubbles in it.
Yes, and so they do have bubbles, and that's what the torch is for.
Okay.
So once we like to let it sit for.
Okay, so I'm going to take out a lot of this part. It says, yeah, we have bubbles in it. That needs to be in there.
Okay.
So this is just kind of her fumbling with it. So we're we're just going to take that part out. And then you take that out and see how that looks. There we go.
There we go. A bunch of bubbles in it.
Yes.
There.
And so they do have bubbles, and that's what the...
And there we just kind of removed a bunch of stuff that, like, almost a full minute of area of just us stirring, just kind of fumbling with it. And that doesn't need to be in there, especially since we put in there already that you stir for 3 minutes. So people get the point, but they don't need to watch us stir for 3 minutes because it's just not very entertaining.
What the torch is for.
Okay.
So once we like to let it sit for a couple minutes after stirring, but since we warmed this a little bit beforehand, it slows the cure time down.
Okay.
So that means less working time with it. Since we have a little bit bigger space than just a regular short or small canvas or whatever, then it is better to just go ahead and get to mixing your colors. So since we do have that right here, I'll just go ahead and bring these over.
Okay.
Okay, so basically the rest of the tutorial, you just go on and on and on until you do the whole thing. So as you can kind of see, we've only done part of it, but it's really just going from like this angle to this angle to this angle to this angle, and basically just us explaining things to showing you how it's done, to explaining things to showing you how it's done. And then in the end, it's just this beautiful texture just like this. So yeah, I'll let you edit the rest of it. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions.